Hi, it's Wendy here, and welcome to my studio. I am about to clean up, and I was thinking how how much I enjoy just explaining the process and going through the creative aspects and the practical aspects, some of the techniques, some of the tactics. But there's a whole lot more that happens in a studio, and a lot of it is just like life is cleaning up. So I'm going to do that now, and I'm inviting you to follow along. I've just been working on uh, new panels, new paper on the other side of these, and I can spend a great deal of time painting, but I have to take breaks so that I don't overpaint or just I'm not even sure I can articulate that. There just needs to be that kind of rhythm of work and not work and observation and sitting, resting. It's a little bit like baking. It's a little bit like dancing. It's a little bit like music. You need to have these balances. So I can stay in the studio and be with the work. So, kind of behind in my peripheral vision, behind what I'm doing here is the work is there. So I am seeing the pieces or I'm living with them. And that's a very important part of the process. I actually learned that from feng shui, how many things will operate kind of in the background. And if you intentionalize those operations by your observation, by your attention, by your tending to or caring for, then that will have an impact on the the environment, the landscape. And that's all I hope to do here is let things kind of settle and to have an impact on the environment or the landscape. So I'm sorting through my stencils. I just started this. Um, Sometimes when I do get to a bit of a crunch, I'll call it, a point where I'm just not ready to continue, or I'm just not sure which direction I'm going to go next. I don't want to stop because I'm having a good time and there's plenty of other things I can do. One of them is to shift gears and to start working on a smaller scale. And I do that on these panels here, which are much smaller. I've just taken the 2 sheets of paper that I normally use and masked them out, masking tape, so that they're grids, and I can just play, just do some different things. So one of the different things that I do are the stencils. Now I'm having a figure ground problem here with these stencils because they're transparent. I mean, I photographed the images. I'm working with ancient artifacts from Western culture mainly. Um, and I put them on these overhead projector slides that I happened to have still from way back when. And so I use them as stencils. I have the positive and the negative for the stencils. Move this. This is my last box of the paper that I have been using for a couple of years. And I really, you get a little bit attached to materials that you like or that you have, grown accustomed to. And so that's gone. I have to find a new set of materials. This is a duplicate. So I can't find these stencils sometimes because, well, they're small for one thing, and then also they are transparent. So I know I had one of the, oh, here she is. I had one of these. So that's it. So right now I'm putting stencils together. Then I'll take out the trash. I mean, it's work that has to be done, and I'm the person to do it. Put my gloves away. I talked about organizing in another video. I mean, it's really easy to just kind of pull materials out and have things just at your fingertips. Very nice, but the studio can really get chaotic, and I don't mind that occasionally, but when it overwhelms the work or my ability to do the work, then that's it. I have to clean up and move on. And cleanup includes putting the tapes away, putting the squeegees away, putting the brushes away, washing the brushes. If you are good to your materials, if you're good to your tools, they will be good to you. I had to get a little bucket to put my current materials in because they were getting all over the place. Very, very hard for me to find them. So every day I try to clean up or organize. It's really probably every other day or every third day. But it makes the space fresh, and then you can actually see the work. I'm not just sure what I can do to make these stencils easier to manage. I've already lost a few. They must be on the tables here somewhere. Let me just pick these up and make sure I didn't set them. It's like them putting things down and then putting something on top of them and never seeing those things again. This down here. And especially on the floor here, where I have other transparency kinds of things. I'm literally looking for two stencils that were here, should be here. Maybe I moved them someplace else. This is the plastic that the paper came in. 5 sheets nicely wrapped in these plastic sleeves, which I then put the finished paintings into and protect them. So that was a nice little bonus that came with the work itself. All these gloves. When I'm doing the stencils, I need those gloves. Home Depot gloves are just like hardware gloves. But these really fit my hand, and I was doing some work with the X-Acto knife, and I started to get a little nervous yesterday. One slice, and then, I mean, it's just not worth it. It's dangerous and puts you out of commission for a while. If you do have a cut, be very careful. You have to have more precautions than you started with. I'm not just sure where I want to put these. I could use a little bit better organizing, but I'm doing okay here. Here's another roll. Let's see if I can put these inside of this. So this is kind of like waiting for the paint to dry. It's another version. It's a job that needs to be done. Might seem mundane to many, it does to me, but it eventually, in the end, increases my productivity. And that's a good thing. Haha. Well, that was a tiny victory, a tiny studio victory, but I did get it. I did get those consolidated and put away. Okay, so I'm still missing a few of the overhead, the Mylar pieces that I cut out the other day, but I'm going to try and put them together with the photocopies so that I can see them clearly. I really had pages and pages of images that I got from the Metropolitan Museum of Art. I'm sure there are other museums that allow you to view and then remotely and then utilize. And that's my alarm telling me that it's time to go. So I will see you on the next tape. Have a good one. So I'm so happy that you are joining me today and maybe other days too. I'll take you through my day-to-day as an artist, and I look forward to seeing you on the next tape. Thanks for being here.